Today we will start the new chapter, that is chapter 14, the Indian National Movement 1917 till 1934. So the first topic is milestone. Following the signing of the Lucknow Pact of 1916, the British government realized that repressive measures alone could not check the rising tide of the anti-British feeling. So, as we have already learned about the Lucknow Pact in the previous chapter, so after the signing of the Lucknow Pact, the British government realized that whatever they have done by using the divide and rule policy in order to create a gap between the Hindu and Muslim, it was not working, and they think that by using the repressive measures, that means the use of divide and rule policies, that alone we cannot secure our empire in the India. They realized that some reforms would have to be granted to appease the nationalists and bring the anti-British movement under control. So they realized that now is the time that we have to accept some demands of the Indians so that they can be under us, and finally they can stop the anti-British movement in India. The British government therefore passed the Government of India Act 1919, or the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. These acts provide for dual government in the provinces, severely restricted the right to vote, enlarged the provincial legislative council, and the Governor General remained answerable to the Secretary of the State. So finally, in order to stop the anti-British movement in India, the British government had passed the Government of India Act 1919, or the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. Please remember the name. And according to this act is that there will be a dual government in the provinces, that means in the state, that means both British and Indian will be the representative in the dual governments, and there would be a restricted rights to vote, that means only a few numbers of Indian people will given the rights to vote, and the provincial legislative council and the Governor General will be enlarged, that means Indian will be appointed in them, and both the provincial legislative council and the Governor General, they have to answer to the Secretary of State if they do any mistake. The reforms failed to appease the people. So though the British government has started to you can say accepting the demand of the Indian people, but whatever the reforms they have done, that means after the passed of the Government of Act 1919, the Indians were not at all satisfied. Real authority continued to be in the hands of the British. So though they have given a small portion of representative in each part of the British government, but the main authority was under the British rule, because Indians were in a small number but as compared to the British. So the British have the real authority. If Indians want some demands to be accepted by the British rule, but the majority of the Indians are very small, so hence their demands will not be accepted. So this is the main reason why the Indian peoples were not at all satisfied with the Government of Act 1919. The Congress condemned the reforms as disappointing and unsatisfactory. So finally, the Congress as a whole, they said that we are not at all satisfied with the demands which British government is offering to us. A new era of struggle began, the Gandhian era. So now we will learn how Gandhiji he came in our India and how he fought against the British rule, what was his different types of satyagrahas, and by the following of truth and non-violence how we achieve independence.